We've explored tales whispered in the hills of Tennessee, stories etched in its history and folklore. But enough about those Appalachian narratives for now. Today, our journey takes us south, across warm waters, to the vibrant and captivating land of the Dominican Republic, a place where sun-drenched beaches and lush landscapes hold secrets far older, and perhaps far more unsettling. Just as Tennessee holds its own unique stories, the Dominican Republic pulses with legends that have been passed down through generations, tales that speak of forces unseen and bargains made in the dead of night. If you've joined us before, you know we love to delve into the heart of a good story, to uncover the beliefs and fears that shape a culture's imagination. And trust us, what we're about to explore in the Dominican Republic might just send a shiver down your spine. Forget friendly tourist brochures for a moment. We're venturing into the realm of demonic pacts and shape-shifting terrors. Get ready to meet the Bacá and the Galipote. Imagine a creature born from desperation and a dangerous bargain. That's the Bacá. According to Dominican folklore, this shape-shifting demon comes into existence when someone makes a pact with the devil himself. Think of it as a sent spirit, a demonic familiar tethered to its owner through a terrifying exchange. The Bacá is said to be able to transform into any animal, but its most common and feared forms are a massive black dog or a powerful bull, often described with unsettling burning or reddish eyes. These creatures are deeply associated with the rural southern regions of the Dominican Republic, embodying anxieties surrounding race, gender, money, and power dynamics within those communities. But what does one gain from such a perilous deal? The legend says the Bacá can grant its possessor wealth and protection, a tempting offer for those seeking prosperity or security. However, this boon comes at a horrifying cost: the demand for significant sacrifices. The folklore is chillingly specific about these sacrifices. Some tales claim the price is the soul of the firstborn child. Others suggest any child will suffice. In the most drastic versions, the individual making the pact might offer their own soul as payment. And then there's the truly terrifying scenario: the demand for a soul daily. Imagine living in fear, knowing your demonic protector needs constant feeding. The legends say the Bacá will first target those who dare to cross its territory after dark, often between midnight, sunset, and 3 a.m. But if it fails to find an outsider, the hunger turns inward. It will prey on those of lesser value within the owner's sphere, employees, then children, until finally it may turn on its very master, the one who made the fateful deal. The reach of the Bacá can even extend beyond the original pact maker. Some versions of the tales speak of inheriting a Bacá upon the owner's death, passing to the eldest son, a close relative, or even the new owner of the land. This paints a picture of a curse that can linger through generations and across property lines. Thankfully, the Bacá isn't all-powerful. Folklore dictates that it cannot venture out during daylight hours, nor can it leave its designated land unless a professional priest performs an exorcism during the day. This offers a small comfort, a sense of boundaries to this terrifying entity. Most recent story, confirmed by a town which we cannot name for privacy. A owner of a well-known livestock and agriculture sales company in that town. It was said that he had a Bacá, likely referring to a supernatural entity or pact. Since his businesses were always prosperous, he owned a very large farm, so large that it disappeared into the mountains. Employees, and some people who lived near the farm, always saw this person arrive at midnight, with large bags covered in blood, and he would tell the caretakers that it was food for the dogs, which the watchmen never saw at night, anywhere on the farm. But they did hear this person, as he walked away into the deepest and darkest part of the property, where not even they, armed, dared to enter.
Socrates,
They heard him calling his dogs
Judas,
as his silhouette disappeared into the
Socrates,
distance
Judas,
and darkness, and they could hear him whispering, apparently speaking to someone whom the caretakers never saw or heard. People from town refer. This was to calm the beasts' hunger for blood, because the town was small, and the vast majority of low-income people worked for this person's company. But this job came with a small inconvenience that some took the chance to play with. It was that every year, several people died throughout the year. They would always fall into the machines or simply disappear. It is said that the owner had several Bacá to protect his farm and continue generating wealth in exchange for human blood. He came to have so much economic power that he rubbed shoulders with the wealthiest people in the country. They were already his friends. He even held public office and was very well known in politics, even becoming the personal friend of the President of the Republic. Until it seems the Bacá no longer wanted more, and it was this person's turn directly, which the person never knew when it could happen. It happened that during a trip on the highway, which he took every day to travel to a larger city for business and politics, a flatbed truck returning crashed into his vehicle. The driver, trying to avoid the collision, caused the entire impact to be on the passenger side in the back, and only this person died. After this tragic accident, the company stopped losing employees, but sales decreased. Although it did not economically affect the family, they did have to sell the company to a much larger national company. According to the people of the town, the family did not want to continue having more pacts with the Bacá. And that is where this story of blood, started by this person decades ago, ended. So, what exactly does the Bacá demand in return for its favors? Initially, it might seem manageable. Perhaps a portion of land, a home, a business, or livestock. But the darker side of the bargain is far more sinister. Those who call upon a Bacá risk their own health, the well-being of their friends and family, suffering from mysterious diseases, illnesses, and a constant barrage of bad luck. And for the truly unlucky, the ultimate price is paid: a mysterious death, or the tragic despair leading to suicide. The legend serves as a stark warning. Is temporary prosperity worth the eternal damnation of selling your soul? But the Bacá isn't the only creature that haunts the Dominican night. There's another figure whispered about in hushed tones, particularly in regions like Samaná and San Juan de la Maguana, areas known for their deep-rooted beliefs in witchcraft. The Galipote. The Galipote is believed to be a man with a supernatural ability to transform into various animals. Popular peasant belief describes them taking the forms of donkeys, goats, pigs, horses, and most commonly dogs. This legend is particularly strong in the Cibao region and the south, reflecting a cultural connection to African-influenced beliefs. Unlike the Bacá, who is tied to a master, the Galipote is often portrayed as a malicious entity that delights in causing harm. They are said to target people traveling through lonely places at night, blocking their paths, causing confusion, and leading them astray, leaving them wandering lost and disoriented until dawn. Interestingly, the animal forms attributed to the Galipote offer a clue to its origins. In the Caribbean, there are no wolves. The European legend of the werewolf, or loup-garou, as it's known in some parts of Europe, found a new form in the Dominican Republic. The dog, being a common animal, naturally stepped into the role of the fearsome shapeshifter. Legend has it that travelers in the past would carry amulets to protect themselves when passing through areas believed to be inhabited by Galipotes. These creatures are often described as cruel and violent, possessing immense strength and a terrifying immunity to ordinary weapons. But the galipote isn't limited to four-legged forms. Another terrifying variant is known as the drone or zonku. This galipote transforms into a nocturnal bird, said to fly through the night and, in the most horrifying tales, suck the blood of children. It's even believed that some galipotes can make themselves invisible, adding another layer of fear to their encounters. However, just like with the Bacá, there's a sliver of hope for protection. It is said that the galipote is only vulnerable to a branch of a tree known as palo de cruz, but only if it's cut on Good Friday, adding a layer of religious significance to this defense. What's truly fascinating is the enduring nature of these beliefs. Despite the advancements of science and the spread of education, many Dominicans continue to believe in the existence of the Bacá and the galipote. This isn't just relegated to remote, isolated communities. Even with the prevalence of the internet and access to information, these legends persist, deeply rooted in the cultural psyche. The legend of the Bacá, in particular, is often linked to the desire for economic prosperity and the protection of one's possessions. Some popular beliefs even suggest that Bacás are purchased in Haiti for these purposes, often at the horrific cost of a child's life or a close relative. The fear of violent retribution for breaking such a pact further reinforces these beliefs. The tales of the Bacá and the galipote offer a powerful glimpse into the rich and sometimes terrifying tapestry of Dominican folklore. They speak of primal fears, the allure of power, and the enduring human need to explain the unexplainable. Whether you view them as literal demonic entities or as powerful cultural metaphors, these legends continue to shape the imagination and beliefs of many in the Dominican Republic, serving as a potent reminder of the unseen forces that some believe still walk among us in the darkness. If you enjoyed this journey and want to see more like it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more to uncover, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Your engagement truly supports the channel, so don't be shy. Leave a comment and let us know what you think. And while you're here, feel free to check out some of our other explorations. You might just find your next fascinating discovery.